Hi, I'm Greg Dahl. I'm Senior Research Manager with the WinField United Innovation Center. Welcome to our demonstration today. What we're looking at is Clethodim in tank mixed with other adjuvants, in tank mixed with other herbicides, and the effects of those things on the performance of the Clethodim. The first thing I'd like to do is show you some Clethodim in action. We have Clethodim here, and what happens is this was sprayed on August 19th, that's 11 days ago, and the corn was 14 inches tall, and the corn is about 14 inches tall. One of the very first things that happens is within a half hour to an hour of application, those grass plants stop growing. And we can see here that they in fact did stop growing at that time. Then what happens is the chemical goes to the growing point and starts to kill the growing point, and that happens quite quickly. And then the older tissue takes a lot longer to die. Like I said, this was sprayed 11 days ago, and you can see the older tissue is well on the way to dying and being completely controlled. This plot was sprayed with Section 3 at 2 fluid ounces per acre, and it had the adjuvant was StrikeLock at 8 fluid ounces per acre. We've got very good weed control here on the grasses, which includes the corn that's here. It's not a broadleaf herbicide, as you can see from the pigweeds. This is our untreated plot. Corn was sprayed 11 days ago, and it was 14 inches tall when we sprayed it. Now it's about 3 feet tall. Section 3 needs an oil adjuvant to maximize its performance. This is Section 3 applied at 2 fluid ounces per acre with no adjuvant. And these growing points are not rotten. The plants are a little bit shorter than our untreateds, but not much going on here. This is Section 3 at 4 fluid ounces per acre. Again, there's no adjuvant added. You can see that extra Clethodim added quite a bit of performance. We have, the plants are much shorter than with 2 fluid ounces, and the growing points are pretty much still attached. So again, more activity, but not very much activity. Okay, this treatment is Section 3 at 2 fluid ounces per acre, plus StrikeLock at 8 fluid ounces per acre. The plants were 14 inches tall when they're sprayed. They're still 14 inches tall, and we've got dead growing points everywhere. Very, very good control with Section 3 at 2 fluid ounces per acre. This plot was sprayed 11 days ago with Section 3 at 4 fluid ounces per acre, plus StrikeLock at 8 fluid ounces per acre. Corn plants were 14 inches tall when we sprayed. They're still 14 inches tall. The plants' growing points are completely dead, and the corn has rotted. The control is ahead of the control if we were using a lower rate of Section 3, but all of these look very, very good. So now we're going to take the look at antagonism of the Clethodim with broadleaf herbicides. Our first broadleaf herbicide is XtendiMax. We applied it at 22 fluid ounces per acre. Here we have Section 3 at 2 fluid ounces per acre, plus the StrikeLock, plus the XtendiMax. And you can see the corn is not as well controlled as it was when we didn't have the XtendiMax in there. One of the things you do see is we did get very good control of our red root pigweeds that are in this plot, but our corn is not as well controlled. It's hard to pull these growing points out. We don't have the rotting going on there. We do have some serious antagonism going on here. This plot was sprayed with XtendiMax 11 days ago, and in here we also had Section 3 at 4 fluid ounces, not 2, at 4, plus the StrikeLock. And you can see Our corn plants didn't grow after the time of the application, and our growing points are all rotten. We're going to get very good control here of the corn. We did get very good control of the pigweeds in here with the XtendiMax. So this is our recommendation, or one of our recommendations, is to increase your Clethodim rate when you're applying it with XtendiMax or any of the other dicamba products. In this plot, we applied Enlist 1 at 2 pints per acre. We also applied Section 3 at 2 fluid ounces per acre and StrikeLock at 8 fluid ounces per acre. You can see we did have growth in the corn. We have growing points that are hard to pull out. They're not rotten, and we are not getting complete control. There is some antagonism going on here. We do have very good control of the red root pigweeds, but we do have antagonism if our Clethodim rate is too low. 11 days ago, we treated this with Enlist 1 at 2 pints per acre, plus Section 3 at 4 fluid ounces per acre, plus StrikeLock at 8 fluid ounces per acre. Our corn was 14 inches tall. It didn't grow. Our growing points are dead and they're rotten. We've got very good control here. We have very good control of the red root pigweeds, so we can overcome the Clethodim antagonism by increasing our Clethodim rate. And we've got a very nice looking plot here. This plot is for comparison purposes. Our broadleaf herbicide is Basagran. We applied it at 1 quart per acre. We also applied the Section 3 at 2 fluid ounces per acre, and we used the StrikeLock at 8 fluid ounces per acre. We did have growth of the corn. Our growing points are not dead, and Basagran is not a very good pigweed product. So we definitely have antagonism here. We knew that we would probably see this. This plot also has Basagran at 1 quart per acre. We applied it with Section 3 at 4 fluid ounces per acre and StrikeLock at 8 fluid ounces per acre. 11 days ago, our corn was 14 inches tall. It's still about 14 inches tall. Our growing points are good and rotten, and so we've got good control. This has been the recommendation for decades for controlling broadleaf weeds and grass weeds with Basagran plus a grass herbicide like Clethodim. We need to increase the rate or separate the treatments. 4 fluid ounces of Section 3 is great plenty to get the control we're looking for. So some things I'd like for you to remember from this presentation. Section 3, which is a Clethodim, works very quickly. It stops the growth in a half hour to an hour of grass plants like corn. It kills the growing point in a few days, and then it takes a long time for the mature tissue to die. Or Clethodims need an oil adjuvant. We looked at StrikeLock. They both are good oil adjuvants that you need them to make the Section 3 work better. And then we do have antagonism from certain broadleaf herbicides, XtendiMax and the other dicamba technologies. Enlist, there's Enlist 1 here, but the Enlist, the 2,4-D choline technologies and the Basagran all can antagonize the Clethodim. So we want to make sure that we don't use a low rate of Clethodim. We can overcome it with a higher rate of Clethodim. And so that's what we recommend for making these technologies work together. And I thank you for your attention, and I thank you for coming to see us at the WinField United Innovation Center.